But I guess that's for that topic. Back to the past, we're not. Hopefully, we don't go back to the past. We're on episode 16 right now. I'm just buying time so I can open up my topics.
Oh, Marcel, you're such a bad person.
But yeah, but I feel like that's right. When I started work, and there was this guy I didn't meet him, like, of course, because of COVID. So, like, we have, like, in a different department. So, like, we only met, like, online when we were having a meeting. This
Mm,
guy, fam, I'm just wondering, like, he was a pro. He was going pro for basketball, right? He's a South African. Like, he was a really good basketball player. He went to America. He joined a team and everything. Then he got injured, and that was the end of his basketball career. And he came back to
mm,
South Africa, and now he works. I was just wondering, fam. Imagine the amount of regret he has in life. Because if he was a basketball player, if you like see LeBron James and all these guys, the amount of
yeah.
money they make, even the not
If he
not
made a name for himself,
yeah,
yeah, he would be really rich.
really really rich. And now he's working a 9 to 5 job, and like, okay, uh, I think it's like like I'm like, yo, damn fam, I would. That's so hard to come back from. It's such a
Mm.
hard thing to come back from. You had your whole life planned out. You're going to be a pro basketball player. I'm really good at it, and then some accident happens, and now you're just now you're stuck being worth. You're just worthless now. You have to go do
Yeah,
something kind
but
of worthless.
that that
Yeah.
happens a lot with contact sport people.
Oh yeah.
Like anything like rugby or that, where they would get an injury, like they would break an ankle or something. That's a weird example. Break a leg or something, and all of that athletics. They would get an injury and they can't continue, so they have to like drastically change their outlook. They can't continue with this thing that they were obviously really good at, and just really depressing.
But I guess you just have to move on. But he was really thankful for the, like, when he joined the company and stuff. He's like really thankful because the people like he met really had a positive outlook and really supported him. It's like, yeah, his parents, and like not the end of the world, and you can just smile. And now he's like doing a lot of better. Like he said it, like, I was in the dumps. I was thinking of ending my life, and this was it. But
Yeah.
got a job, and then like things changed. Now he looks like a, I don't know, like, you just have to sit down with the guy and just have a heart to heart and just like listen to his story properly. One day, if this podcast goes off, we'll bring him on one day.
I
Um,
see, I see.
yeah, so like I was thinking, like, how's life going and stuff. But like the other thing, like, probably like, 'cause I was thinking of Uber back home. And it's older
Mm.
gentlemen, right? Like, most of the time, when I go take a Uber back, they're like, oh, I say hello, and it's like, hello, hello. And this guy was calling me sir, and it's clearly, bro, he's older man. Because the
Yeah.
way he drives, most people that drive, that they're just leaning back, one arm on the thing, like driving, like shit like that. But this guy was driving, like sitting up straight, both hands on the wheel, looking all around. Just extremely respectful, calling me sir, calling me this, calling me that. Like, oh, okay. Like, I was just wondering, like, and it's old, so I'm like, so you've been through apartheid and stuff like that. And like, you have to do this to make a living. Not of course, maybe not a living, but I was
Yeah.
wondering, like, what kind of life has he had, and what kind of stories does he have to tell? I was like, that would be a nice thing for a podcast and stuff. But of course,
So you didn't ask him about his life to like come tell it on this podcast
how
or
would I
this?
fucking do that, fam? It's just weird, fam. It's weird.
Ah, that's the one thing that I've seen, or at least with the older people that I've met and like spoken to, like especially my one granddad. He really enjoys it when you ask about his life and like what these past experiences and things like that. So like usually older people they don't mind sharing like things like that,
Uh
and
huh.
like even if it is a hard story, like let's say for apartheid, um, they would like talk about it even though it was a harsh time for them and everyone around them, and they would probably see a lot of death and
Yeah.
discrimination and shit. They'd still talk to you about it because it was still a part of their life. Because like asking you about games when you were younger, like you're interested in that, or you would like to talk about that, you know.
Not really, but
But
sure, man.
I
No, so
guess
so
it.
so 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 you're going to be having your grandfather on, next time, so he can tell us some stories about his younger days. How he was a fit young man, and how his grandson is a useless human being. Sitting here on a chair making a podcast with some random guy on the internet with a goat. to compensate for his small penis. Yeah.
Okay, you just rambled a lot of words in there, but okay.
He just ignored me.
No, obviously I heard what you said, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
but see, but yes, but I want to like, yeah, actually want to bring some older people who have stories, like have nice stories like that, and I think like that's where the real content is. But I think for that it's better to have like face cams and stuff, or like like having in a studio rather, and seeing the person's face and like his emotions coming through. Like sometimes it's not easy to pick up okay, because a lot of people you can pick up emotions through the voice, but sometimes you can't pick up emotions. But when you see the face, you just connect on a different level.
Yeah, obviously. That's what the fun thing is about having face cameras or having more interactive things. Like that's how I'm not sure if you've seen much of VTubers.
No, fucking hate those cancerous human beings.
Okay, well, like things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Either that or virtual reality,
But I still
where
think that's better than what we are doing. Yeah.
oh, okay, but shit, there you go. There's the answer that I wanted.